Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's Michael Kanalakis.
My name is Vigo, and you're watching New Era Jets. Before I start the video, I just wanted to say thank you to all the people who attended the draft party who recognized me for the podcast, and it just meant a lot. I didn't expect no fans to be there. I'll be honest, cause
Yeah, I was kind of shocked when you texted me. That,
yeah,
that was that was really cool to see.
I got the microphone over there somewhere, and they recognized the logo, and they're like, "Yo, I seen you on YouTube before." Like, I was surprised to be honest. Like, I was expecting nobody. Then like I got the interview with some people. You know who you are, and just thank you again. It just means a lot.
Oh
it,
yeah.
it was a amazing experience. Just like I wasn't able to get all the players because it was long lines, but I was able to get Sherwood and Charles. I was trying to get Stiggers, but fortunately, like he left earlier.
Yeah.
And Chris Boyd, I know he was there, but I didn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
It was Joe Tipman, Josh Myers, um Sherwood and Marcelino McCary Ball, linebacker.
Yeah.
It was Stiggers and I can't remember. But then it was Rucker and Coons.
Yeah. Hopefully we could get Chris Boyd on the show soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Trying to see when to set that up.
Yeah. And also before we get into our draft picks, like, first I gotta say, like, when we were draft, even for the Giants too, like I even got to see Russ too. It was amazing. And the draft pick when they announced it, it was just an unreal feeling. Like, now that I know that it's free, I'm definitely going every year for sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. If I didn't
Yeah,
have practice, I would have went.
yeah, for sure. Next year I'm gonna be there, and maybe once it's in MetLife, I'll definitely be there. But I just wanted to start the video with somehow the Jets are somehow involved in this on
Mm-hmm.
draft day. They, I think it was day two. The former interim head coach and the former defensive coordinator for the New York Jets, Jeff Ulbrich, his son, prank called Shador Sanders,
Mm-hmm.
pretending that it's the Saints. And when I seen that, I swear I swear on I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a
Mm-hmm.
joke. I did not believe it until they showed like, and I realized that's actually his son.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
they made a whole like apology. I'm like, to me that was just insane. Like,
Oh, it's just childish.
exact. Not only that, like, no matter what like it is, we're somehow involved.
Yeah. The Jets are always tied in the media somehow.
Like
Anything that
who
goes wrong.
who could have thought the former Jets head coach, interim head coach, his son will prank call Shador Sanders pretending it's
Mm-hmm.
the Saints and like, yeah, he's like 20 years old. It's pretty childish, but he apologized and I guess it's all good. He's Shador's on the Browns now. We'll see if he's a QB1 for next season, but from what it's looking like, I'm not sure about that because he
Oh,
got
of
like
course.
5 quarterbacks on our roster.
Yeah, that was a crazy draft for them.
Yeah, but first of all, I'm gonna start with the first draft pick by Mougey Arma Membu out of Missouri. I mean, it was pretty obvious we were going to draft him or Warren, but I just want to hear your thoughts. Like, when we drafted Membu, what was your first reaction?
Well, so I had practice that night, so our coaches put the draft in the speakers, and they turned it off from when pick 6 through 10 went. So I had no idea who the Jets took, and they put it back on, and I was just listening for available players, and I knew Warren was still available, so I was just praying we took Membu. So then after practice, I got back to the locker room, and I saw my phone, and I saw we took Membu, so I was really happy just because. I mean, you think about the holes we have, and obviously going to be a run first team. I think he fits our scheme perfectly. He completes the wall now, and I had just like a little stat about him in his 2,100 snaps. He only gave up 3 sacks, and that third one was a questionable one. So you could even say 2 sacks and almost over 2,000 snaps. So
Yeah,
I think the stats speak for themselves. I think he's going to be a great player for us. You have him now, and you have Olu, who are both young, and it completes our O line. It's probably the best O line I've experienced probably since 2015, and who knows, it could even be better than that. So,
way better.
me personally, it was one of my favorite picks of the draft, and I think it's a great pick. What do you think?
Yeah. To me, that was just the most perfect player you can get. Like, first, you got Olu Fashanu, he didn't start till left tackle a little late to the season, but he did perfect, in my opinion. Then, one of, what's his name? Douglas' best free agent pickups, John Simpson, he had a really good year
Mm-hmm.
in the run game. Tedman had also really good year. And then Elijah Tucker, if he stays healthy. And then we got Armand Member on the right side. I guarantee you, Brees is going to go for like 1,500 yards rushing.
That's what
I'm hoping so.
there's no reason our running back should not have a great year, even with Fields on the run game too.
They should each of them should at least have like 500, 600 yards at least.
Mm-hmm.
And outside, like you said last year, I didn't know he only gave up 3 sacks his whole college career, but I had last season he allowed 0 sacks and
Yep.
0 QB hits.
Yeah, last year he had a great year.
Yeah, and then I had to write this down at the combine. This is insane because he's like, I don't know exactly how much he weighs. So it said like 330 something. At the 40-yard dash, he had a 4.91.
That might be one of the most insane things.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys know, for a person that's that big to run that fast, that's crazy.
Yeah, 491 is ridiculous. I mean,
For his size too, that's
I
insane.
have teammates, like there's obviously kids my age, 20-year-olds, maybe weighing 250, D linemen running fives, 4.9s, maybe the same speed. And that dude's 100 pounds more than him and he's moving quicker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, when you put it in that perspective, it's insane that he ran that. So
that just
I'm
shows you how
so
like
happy
big of
we
an
got
athlete
him.
he is. He's like insane, and like, ooh, this is crazy to me. Just like all those people on the O line, like there's gonna be no excuse that Brees isn't gonna get 1,000 yards. Like that's a guarantee. I'm guarantee you, Brees is gonna
Oh,
have,
yeah, no, this
if he
this
plays
year
all
he
season,
crashed
if he plays
out
all games though
easily.
for sure. If he plays all games, he's
Yeah,
gonna
if he
get a
stays
thousand yards,
healthy.
and I think he will. Now going to our next pick, what do you think about Mason Taylor, son
Oh,
of
I
former
love
Jet?
it. I mean, we talked about it. I think the third night of the draft with NR Media with
Yeah,
how I think he was saying how we're gonna love Mason Taylor, and the more I've watched this film, the more I realize like I do think he's gonna fit so well with us. I mean, like his stats might not be the flashiest. Like in his 3 years, he had 1,300 yards and 6 TDs, but he was the most productive tight end in LSU history. And you can argue that he's more beneficial in the run game than he was in the pass game. And I think that's a big thing that Mougey saw in him was one, obviously that adds another target for Fields, but that also is another down lineman where if we're, running inside zone, we're pounding the ball. He's another guy on the O line that's just going to add way more fight to our team. And I think, like I said, it was a great pick. Obviously, we all saw the stuff on draft night. His dad played for the Jets one year, so that was cool, like the inter family connection. But I think pretty deep tight end class. I think a lot of fans maybe wanted Warren, but if the fact that we got Armin and then now we just got Mason Taylor, I think that was the best way those first two picks could have went. What are
yeah.
your thoughts on it?
I love the pick too. I was actually hoping for Luther Burden, and if I'm not wrong, he was picked like 5 or 6 picks
Yeah, he
before
went
us.
to
I was
the
hoping for
he
the
went to the
Bears.
Bears.
I was hoping to get him, but it's all right. We got Mason Taylor. He's really good. I mean, like you said, his stats aren't like Warren, like Brock Bowers type of stats, but he's been productive. Like, and even he got a compliment from Nick Saban, former
Mm-hmm.
Alabama head coach, that that was one of the biggest mistakes not recruiting him. And to hear that from Nick Saban, that's huge,
Yeah, that means a
very
lot.
huge. And he's good in the block, the run game. He can block, he can catch, and as of right now, he's our starting tight end.
Oh,
And
easily.
we needed a tight end badly. We needed him. It was either him, Harold Fannin, or that guy from Michigan. And I'm surprised he went first round to the
Yeah,
Bears.
Loveland.
Yeah, it was either those three. Because
Mm-hmm.
I know we were not gonna get Warren. We were gonna get Armand Membu. But from day two, he was one of my favorite picks. Even though we got 2 picks, and then going to the next pick, I got to say his name right. Azare Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
cornerback out from Florida State. So first, I'm gonna just say this: like, first of all, I love the pick. Like his stats are crazy too. He has like similar stats to Sauce in his final year of college. He gave about like 140 yards and
Mm-hmm.
like 30 targets. He only allowed like 12 receptions and allowed 0 TDs. But here's the thing though, just you're going to free agency. We signed Brandon Stevens to a pretty big contract to be our cornerback number 2.
Yep.
And obviously, like we don't know he didn't have the best year, but I think he's gonna be better under Aaron Glenn. And just like when we got him, I was confused. I'm like, I'm not complaining he's good. It's just like we could have gone like a wide receiver, someone
Yeah,
else.
exactly.
But he's really good. And like I understand like for depth in my opinion, but like from what I've seen, he's made a name for himself. He should be a starting corner in this league.
I personally think my like grade with it is it's kind of like one of those wait and see situations because, like I said, I mean his stats speak for themselves. A lot of people in the draft, like the experts, had him as one of like the top 30 players in the whole draft, and many people consider it the steal that we even got him. I know his like draft comparison was Jalen Ramsey, so that's obviously something good.
That's huge.
But I kind of just see it as like the fact that we took him so early, not early, but like what I'm saying, like taking someone round 3, you're maybe anticipating he's going to be a starter for you. I might see the idea of maybe moving Stevens to safety. I know a lot of fans talked about this on Twitter. I don't know like what the coach's plans are, but I could maybe see that idea of moving Stevens to safety. I mean, he has safety size, and then you stick someone. Because I was looking on Twitter after the draft, and a lot of people, like a lot of NFL fans, think Thomas can replace DJ Reed. Like they think Thomas has like
Easily.
that type of DJ Reed play. So I don't think it would hurt us moving Stevens to safety and plugging him at corner two. But I'm gonna trust the coach's plan. I think they obviously see something in him. They obviously see something in Stevens. So I hope it works out the best for the team. But I'm curious to see what they do with that situation in the secondary.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Moving Steven to safety, he has some experience for safety, but well, I'm not gonna say our pick, but we also drafted safety Malachi Moore, so I don't know if they're gonna maybe still move him to safety or like I'm not sure, but because
Yeah, I'm
Cisco,
curious.
he's guaranteed to be a starter,
Oh, easily.
and then Moore's got just got to beat out Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like maybe if it doesn't work
Yeah,
out
I'm
with
curious who to
Stevens,
do.
if it doesn't work out with Stevens, they put Thomas in. I mean,
Yeah.
cause I want to see him play. Like actually can't win this. He was actually surprisingly one of my favorite picks of the
Oh
draft.
yeah.
Like I can't wait to see him in preseason. Like I want to see how good he is
Oh, I'm excited.
to see if he could be the DJ Reed replacement.
Yeah, I wanna get your thoughts on our next pick, our fourth round one, because I think as Jet fans, this is probably the most controversial one we had. We took Arian Smith, receiver from Georgia. I want to know what did you think, and did you like the pick?
First, I didn't see when cause I woke up late that day, so I had to look on Twitter and I see
Mm-hmm.
Arian Smith. I'll be honest, I didn't know who he was at first, so I looked up his stats. The first thing I see is that people complaining he cannot catch. That's the first thing I see. He let his team in drops.
Yep.
But the one good thing, he's fast. That's the one good thing he has. Like
Mm-hmm.
obviously we need like a player with like a lot of speed, but first what's more important is catching the ball.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
we've dealt with that the last like 2-3 years. Like receivers not catching the ball. Like, and in my opinion, there was like better receivers in the fourth round that we could have gone. But
Oh, easily.
and if I'm not mistaken, he was projected to be a seventh round or undrafted free agent. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
a lot of people said we reached on this one.
but I'm not gonna say it'd be like it's a bad pick because we haven't even seen him do play. Like
Yeah, exactly.
obviously he could fix his hands. Like I'm pretty sure Glenn could like help him, and for our coaching staff, he can like become better. He's dealt with Jameson Williams, and I'm pretty sure like he's dealt with like people who had the same exact problem dropping the
Oh
ball.
yeah.
So I like the pick. It's just like I'm not gonna say it'd be like it's our worst pick, even though. What do you think? Is think it's our worst pick?
Well, so just looking through the draft, I personally said it's our quote unquote worst pick, but I'm not saying
Yeah,
he's the worst player.
yeah,
It's the idea that I personally felt there was maybe better talent on the board at receiver. But the thing I do like that I've kind of been like preaching to Jet fans that have been complaining about is one, he's a 4.3 type of speed guy, which if you look at the Jets receiver core, let's be honest, we lack speed, right? We
yeah.
lack that idea of like a
Except Garrett.
vertical threat. So I think that adds another component to the game that can expand our offense. And if you look at it, speed's usually something you can't teach. Hands is something you can teach. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's better for us the fact that look at someone like Lazard. Yeah, he has a dropping problem that he's clearly working on. And Arian Smith, the first thing he said on after they got drafted by the Jets is he said, "I understand I have a catching problem." He said, "I'm gonna bust my tail this offseason to fix it." And it's like he already said he's excited to work under Garrett Wilson. So I think the fact that he's already a rookie receiver and he's taking that responsibility on and accountability of, okay, I understand the drops were a problem and he's going to do his best to fix it. I think, it's a fourth round pick too. So all these fans are acting like we took him with our first round pick. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like if he doesn't work out, it's a fourth round pick.
Exactly.
But I personally think it's going to work out. And I mean, last year he was averaging 17 yards per catch. Like, I think it just adds another component to your team that stretches the offense. But obviously, the 10 drops is something that, keep an eye on. But like I said, we can't sit here and judge it. We saw him play last year at Georgia, but until he's in the NFL, with the team and I'm watching him play, I'm not going to, speak on the whole hand situation. So I personally think it was an okay pick, but I really do hope he has the best career with us.
Yeah, the first when we drafted him, I just looked up his highlights. 'Cause I want to see how he played. I was just him just beating every person like man to man. Like but he was going straight. I didn't really see like no like routes like that. I just seen him just going like straight. But I mean, I'm not complaining. We need like that type of player like that type of speed. Garrett's
the
pretty
vertical
fast.
threat helps a lot. I will say that.
Yeah, and honestly, like first, like you said, he took accountability for like I guarantee you, for most people like in the NFL, like with a dropping problem, they would not be like that. They would be like,
No, and especially when it's like that, like if you ask a lot of college fans, if you just bring up the name like Arian Smith, because I was obviously a big Bama fan, so I knew of him at Georgia. A lot of fans, if you just bring up the name Arian Smith, they tell you speed and dropping problem. Those are like the two things they know about him. So he obviously has heard of all of it the last couple of years, and he took that on his shoulder, and it's like he's gonna put his head down and work through it. So I'm very excited to see how he pans out with us, and I think he adds great value actually.
Yeah, and we desperately needed a wide receiver. So even though there's better talent, I'm hoping that he could be our
Oh,
possible
exactly.
wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3.
Yeah,
As of right now, he's probably our wide receiver 4 or
yeah.
3. I
That's what I'm
think
saying. With the current receiver room, like after there's obviously Garrett Wilson, but we have so many. We added a decent amount of players where they have talent, but we don't know how they're going to pan out. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
we don't know if Reynolds is going to be a good piece for us or he's not. We don't know if Malachi Corley is going to have a breakout year. Like that's why I'm kind of saying it's kind of like this wait and see situation where these receivers, besides Garrett Wilson and obviously Lazard a little bit, are coming in. It's like they got to prove themselves that they could start on our team. So I think
Exactly.
it puts us in a pretty good situation. But on to our next pick. This is personally my favorite pick of the
Mine
draft
too.
for us. Yeah, obviously after Membu, but I think the value we got him for is insane. And obviously, as a Bama fan, I'm a little biased, but Malachi Moore, safety out of Bama. What did you think about this one?
First of all, if I'm not mistaken, in our draft, he was one of the players we selected, and I wanted just to draft him so bad. Like out of all the safeties, he's my favorite one. I liked him over Starks, Watts, and just to get him in the 4th round, I thought he would be like a second round
That's
pick or
what I
something.
I was so shocked. And remember, we traded up to get him.
Yeah, he was in. Like first, we look at his highlights. Like whatever, like he's good at like almost every stat, like coverage, run defense, tackling, ball hawk, whatever you name, he's good at.
He had
And
like
we need a type of player
I saw on Twitter he had a 91, I think,
in coverage,
grade in
right?
the pass game and then 88 in the run game. And a
That's
safety,
crazy.
think about the run game was what hurt us the most. If you have a safety like that, that adds so much value to our defense.
Yeah, and but obviously he has to beat out. He has to try to beat out Tony Adams, but
Oh yeah,
from what it looks like, I think he's easily a starter,
yeah, no,
easily.
I love Tony Adams. He was one of the first Jets to connect with me when I made my account. So shout out to Tony Adams. But I just feel like personally, I think Malachi Moore has. I think he's got a. I mean, Glenn already spoken, and he thinks he's coming in with a great chance to start. And just want to obviously Malachi Moore 5 years captain at Alabama,
Oh
one of
yeah,
the best
captain too.
college teams. But one of the biggest stats that stood out to me is obviously he had a lot of tackles, a lot of picks, but in 5 years, 31 pass deflections and 15 tackle for losses as a safety.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
And
that's
and him.
ridiculous. Like this was one of the only I gave 3 picks we had A minuses, and this was one of them I gave a straight A because if you just talk about value and the fact that Mougey traded up to make sure we ended up getting him tells me that I think he's going to be our starting safety, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, I just wish I know we gave a 5th round pick, and I wanted like us to get like at least one more receiver, but if we, but we did get him, so I'm not complaining. So
No,
I love
exactly.
the pick. I think he's like the most perfect person that you would want under Glenn's defense because
Hmm.
obviously in Detroit he had 2 really good safeties, Kirby Joseph who got that big contract, and Brian Branch who still just that safety duo. We need that type of duo.
Oh,
Honestly,
exactly.
they were both ball hawks. Like we need a
Look how good. Look at the way Brian Branch came in. Obviously coming out of Bama, he goes under Glenn, and he was one of the great best safeties in the league. I really do feel like, and Brian Branch and Malachi Moore are close and as friends.
they're
I
almost like
really do
same.
see Malachi Moore kind of following those footsteps.
Yeah, and we desperately need a ball hawk too. Cause I'm pretty sure if I'm not wrong, we had like the least amount of turnovers. If not the
Yeah.
least, we're definitely like top 5 in the least.
No,
Like we
we
did not
laughed.
get
I
interceptions
just
at all.
saw a video today on Twitter of Quincy Williams working out, and he kept saying I got to get those interceptions this year. Like I think a lot of the dudes on defense are going to take it with chip on their shoulder. Where this year we got to force turnovers to obviously help the offense out.
Yeah, I'm hoping Sauce will get like 3 or more interceptions because tell me I'm sick of people like calling him back because he only has like 3 career interceptions.
Yeah, I
Like I
know.
get it, he doesn't have interceptions. Aiden Hutchinson has the same amount interceptions as him in his rookie season. Like, dude, like
It's also because he's such a good corner. People don't throw his way.
exactly, I'm saying that if how you supposed to intercept the ball if it's not getting thrown your way? And obviously, I know he dropped some picks, but like, yeah, if that was like a person like Patrick Surtain, Jalen Ramsey, I guarantee you would not be saying the same thing. Like,
No,
respectfully,
exactly.
like, but I guarantee he's gonna get like 3 or more picks. And then
I hope
Moore,
so.
honestly, I think Moore could be like the leading person in interceptions for us.
Oh, easily.
Because I play him at Alabama, yo, I'm telling you, I at least get an interception from him every game, at
No,
least.
he's literally like he is what you want at safety. It's like a crash out ball hawk. You know what I'm saying? Like
Crash out,
we need
exactly.
that
He's a
at
crash out.
safety. So I do hope he starts.
Yeah, he's my personal favorite. Like out of everyone, even over Membu. Like it's just I like Bama too, because I play with Bama and NCAA all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
But like he's just the perfect person, in my opinion, under Glenn's defense. And we'll see
Oh,
how he plays
easily.
next season. I think he's a future All Pro. He's gonna be a big player for us for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And going to our next pick, I'm gonna say last name wrong.
Yeah.
Francisco
Yeah.
Mawugu.
I don't know how to
I don't know how to
say
say
it.
last linebacker from Miami. What do you think about that pick?
I think this was obviously round. Once you get to round 5, it's kind of pick and choose where if these dudes work out after round 4, in my opinion, it's almost like you just hit a gem basically. So
Hmm?
I don't have too many feelings about it. I just know I think last year he had 96 tackles, 5 pass deflections, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and a pick. So pretty good year. He's got decent size. Obviously with our linebacker room, I don't see him really making any playing time, but I think it's good to have depth like that. And for the best, I have the best of luck for him. Basically, you know what I'm saying? Like I think he's from his highlights, what I saw, he's a good player, but I just don't really see him making an impact on the Jets right now, at least. Knock on wood, we don't have injuries, but I still think it's a good pick for the 5th round. I gave it a B minus. How about you?
Yeah. I was kind of mad that we selected linebacker when we desperately needed a D tackle. But I
Mm-hmm.
look at his highlights. He was the leading tackler for his team last year, and we do kind of need some depth in the linebacker because right now it's just Quincy Sherwood, Davis. I can't think of no come to mind, and the guy at the draft right, McCary Ball,
Mm-hmm.
and we desperately need like someone like the Sherwood, like when it was a Quincy and Mosley, we need like the Sherwood type of guy.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if someone gets injured, we need that type of player. Like he'll like be a good player for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at with CJ Mosley gone, yeah, they definitely need linebackers. Well, I won't say
Yeah.
desperately, but like it's good to like have a reliable guy when someone gets injured,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
I was
And
saying with this pick, the thing I think the biggest criticism, which I will agree with, I think personally, Mougey and Glenn did a good job for the first draft, but I think the biggest question Jet fans were asking is in one of the deepest defensive tackle drafts we've seen in a while, and a team that has holes at the D line. The fact that one, we didn't draft a defensive tackle, and two, at a spot like here, we could have got at least one of the lower name D tackles, and we took a linebacker. But based off the undrafted free agents we've signed and the current defensive line group we have, I actually do kind of see the vision we have. So
Mhm.
I see the criticism, but I don't think it's gonna affect us down the road. But I think it's a solid pick. But I think we should this next one's one of my at least in late rounds one of my favorite ones. But Tyler Barron, we took him at 176 from Miami, the edge rusher.
Yeah, he was also in the mock draft.
Yeah,
You mentioned him.
the stats I had, I think obviously speak for themselves. Back to back years of 11 tackle for losses each. Back to back years of at least 5 tackles each. You know what I'm saying? Like for a 5th round pick that late, this is actually someone I think who could actually maybe make an impact for us. I actually do see the Jets maybe putting him in the rotation. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think it was a steal in my opinion because like we needed like another edge rusher because Jermaine
Hmm.
he's gonna be hurt, so we don't know how he's gonna play, and we need like depth for it because
And you can move him around. That's the thing.
exactly he's reliable, and I forgot who the player is. He was second in college football. He had like the second most pressures percentage. There was this one player who had number one. It's not Carter too. It's I can't find the name, but we need like a good pressure guy, and he was good in the run game too. So
I think he adds great value.
yeah, and that was our last pick. I was hoping to get like the 6th round pick at least, but to
Yeah,
get a D
same.
tackle. But in our undrafted free agents, we actually signed like one or two. I gotta pull up the list. Well, it's a lot of people because like as of right now, it could change because I think today we just signed someone else if I'm not
Oh yeah.
mistaken. And the first one that sticks out is a quarterback from Missouri, play with Membu Brady Cook.
Hmm.
First of all, he's not gonna get playing almost like
No.
he's like the third, fourth string because
Yeah.
I don't even know if Travis is healthy yet. I haven't heard from him in like I don't know how long.
Hmm.
But obviously he has experience with Membu, so it's gonna help in a. I don't know. I was gonna look in the preseason because just like having your old teammate block for you, and with all these like wide receivers,
Yeah.
and we need like a training camp type of quarterback. And going to the next one, I'm surprised he went undrafted. He was a foreign player on the NCAA cover, Donovan Edwards out of Michigan.
Yep.
It's gonna be, in my opinion, it's gonna be like hard for me to running back to make the team because like we have like 4 or 5 running backs on our team, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be hard for him to make the team, obviously. But in my opinion, he could be a reliable running back. We'll see how he plays in the preseason. I think we usually keep like 4 to 5 running backs in our roster, right? Maybe like
Oh
five at
yeah.
like 5 at most.
He's a good player, and I
Yeah,
like him. It's just the thing with like Brady Cook. I think we brought him in for the idea of basically battle it out. In training camp, battle it out with Jordan Travis if he's healthy. Whichever one I think wins that battle, the other one might not make the team, might get released, in my opinion. Because I think we keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster. But the Donovan Edwards, he's a good player. I just don't really see a spot of him making our team. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I just don't see him fitting in.
And if he does make the team, he's probably not getting, but barely gonna get playing time.
Yeah, exactly.
And our next one, first of all, I haven't pulled up the stats, so I don't know like stats for each wide receiver. Quentin Skinner from Kansas.
Yeah, I love this one personally. I think he actually has a chance to make the receiver room.
I'm trying to remember because the 3 wide receiver guys, Jamal Pritchett, South Alabama, and Dymere Miller out of Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in your opinion, which out of those 3 receivers, who's the best one?
Well, in terms of making the current, I look at it through the Jets receiver room currently. Like, what do we need? And I think Skinner probably has the best chance because he's a 6'5", 200 pound receiver, so he has great size. But I wouldn't be shocked if Demir Miller maybe made it because, like I said, 4.2 he has 4.23 speed. So Jamal Prickett, I don't know if he will, but he was from South Alabama. He had 1,000 yards and 9 TDs last year, and he averaged like 14 yards per catch. So the only problem with him is he's 5'8", 175. So I don't think Prickett makes it, but there's a chance Miller makes it. But in my opinion, if one of them were to, I think Skinner's got it just because of his size, and he had a pretty good year at Kansas.
Yeah, I think one of them is going to make the roster for
Oh
sure,
yeah.
and I think one of our receivers are going to get cut, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And the next we signed on, I believe yesterday, Lindier Wiegand from Germany. I think he like Jordan Maliata. He played why I just forget the sport. It's like football, but like you remember what Jordan Maliata used to play?
What was it, rugby?
Rugby, yeah. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe he played that in Germany. And he's a big dude. He's a offensive tackle. And who knows, he could possibly make the team and like
Yeah, I think
replace
he just adds solid depth. I
yeah.
mean,
He's
there's not
huge.
too much on it. The things I had personally were I wrote down we signed 3 defensive linemen and or 4. No, we
4.
signed 3, but I actually think 2 of them can make it. We have Fata. I'm gonna say his name wrong. Fatamora Mobak,
What,
D
West
lineman.
Virginia?
Yeah, 6'4", 305. So he's got great size.
Yeah.
And then we just signed him yesterday. I think Peyton Page from Clemson, 6'4", 310. Like I think those 2. Then we also signed Jamarcus Winston Weston from
West, yeah.
Florida. I don't think he makes the team personally. Like he didn't really have the best year at Florida last year, but I actually do think Peyton Page has a chance to make it. He probably is the best out of those 2, but I think Moback also has a pretty good chance. But I was happy to, like I said, I was happy to see that we at least tried to get undrafted ones after the draft, because then that kind of the round 5 pick with the linebacker from Miami. Once the Peyton Page from Clemson was one of the dudes that I was seeing all through the draft, where like fans were like, who's gonna pick up Peyton Page? Like not the first couple rounds, but like 4, 5, 6. I knew fans were kind of trying to see where he was gonna go. And then when the draft finished, a lot of people were like, this is going to be one of those, undrafted free agent gems. So I'm really happy the Jets got him, and I really do hope it works out because, like I said, D-line was one of our holes. I know he was a pretty good, player in the run game, so I'm really hoping that he makes the team and he makes an impact for us.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to like which one's going to be the most impactful in the pressure and run game. Because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what we need desperately. Because Quinny can't do it all himself.
Yeah, no,
Like he
Quinn,
needs like
they
someone
need
help
to
him
take
out.
some stress off Quinn.
Yeah, they triple team him, double team him. Like he's tired of it. Like he can't do it all
Mm-hmm.
himself. And we also signed a linebacker, Jarrett Barlett, Cincinnati. and Aaron Smith from South Carolina. It's going to be hard for them to make the linebacker list.
Yeah, I don't
So
really see.
we'll see how
Shout
it
out to
plays
those
out.
dudes for even making the NFL. Like that's a great accomplishment. I just don't see them working on our team. But if they do get cut, I hope they find a different
Oh,
team.
and also linebacker, another linebacker that got invited to rookie minicamp, Quincy Williams and Quinn Williams' brother Giovanni Williams.
Oh yeah,
So
Giovanni Williams.
shout out to
Mm-hmm.
him getting the invite. I actually want to see like them play together. Like that would be like a good story to write about.
Oh
Three
yeah,
brothers
no.
on the same
I'm
team.
just. I really hope. Obviously, we're gonna be biased because I love the Williams brothers, but I
Yeah,
do hope he makes it because I made the post for him I think 2 days ago, and he ended up actually following me back, so that was pretty cool.
yeah,
So shout out to him. But that would be so cool. I mean, the fact that we even have a pair of brothers like to play with your like I played college last year with my brother, and it was obviously a blessing. And it's like just to imagine what that's like to play at the NFL level, and the fact that you could have three of them on the same team, like that would be such a cool story. And who knows? Best of luck to him. I do hope he. Obviously I know I see his Instagram. He's training. He's working hard right now. So I really do hope he makes it.
yeah. He's working really hard. He wants to make that roster. I'm hoping he makes it. And honestly, we'll see how he plays.
Yeah.
I want to see him play preseason. I want to see how he plays.
Another. This was one of the last undrafted free agents that
Yeah,
I had written down. The kicker from Ole Miss, Caden Davis. He had a 82% field goal percentage in his career, and then he had a 96.6 on extra points. And this is one where I think actually could spark up some competition in the kicking room.
yeah.
And obviously we lack kicking
We
last
need
year,
it
so I
badly.
actually do. I wouldn't be shocked if week one comes around. He actually has a chance to be our starting kicker.
Yeah, and I think in training camp they're gonna like have a battle out with
Oh, of
Zerline.
course.
And we still have Carlson, the dude from Green Bay.
Oh yeah.
So they're all gonna battle out, see who's the best kicker. But as of right now, I think Caden Davis. Well, shout out to Carlson. He actually did pretty good the first few weeks.
Oh yeah.
And
No,
then
he's holding it down.
yeah, then he started to miss a few field goals and like not that it mattered, but like,
Oh, of course.
And also one of the last people got Dean Clark and son of Ryan Clark, who was beefing
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers last season, Jordan Clark. I haven't seen his highlights, so I can't say if he's good or not. I'll have to like check after this. But I mean, Ryan Clark, he was a really good safety for the Steelers, so
Yeah.
hopefully he could like he brought that talent to his son, and we'll see how it pans out for
Yeah, I
us.
know he actually had a pretty good year last year at Notre Dame. It's just like I said, obviously with us taking Malachi Moore too, Tony Adams is still a good safety. We just picked up Cisco. I don't know the chance of him making it, but I do like Ryan Clark. So best of luck to his son, and if he
Yeah,
makes our team, I hope he makes an impact.
we did lose Davis too, so we probably need about like 5 to 6
Mm-hmm.
safeties. So I'm hoping he makes it, and I believe that's all we got right now for
Those are
undrafted.
all the ones I focused on. But so to wrap it up, going through obviously our rounds and then including the undrafted free agents, how would you assess Mougey and Glenn's first, draft as, part of the Jets?
Like an overall grade in the
Yeah.
draft. Honestly, it was good. The first 2 days were good. The third day I'm not gonna say it was terrible, but like
Yeah.
we could have done better. I mean, it was his first draft, so you expect him to get like all like week one starters. Like no, like
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna take time. But honestly, I'll give it a solid B plus B minus because we did get Armand Membu, starting right tackle. We got Mason Taylor starting tight end, and then we got Thomas. We'll see if he plays or not. Then we got Malachi Moore. He's my personal favorite. Then we got Aaron Smith. We'll see how he may have been like the worst pick, not the worst pick, not the worst player, but like out of all the picks, he's like
Yeah.
the odd man out. But we'll see I hope he does good.
Mm-hmm.
Then just the rest of the picks in round
Yeah.
5, 6. But overall, I'll give it a B plus B minus because he did good. In my opinion, he did a good job. In my opinion,
no,
I think it was better than last year.
Yeah.
Way better than last year. What do you think?
I mean, I use like for me personally. I mean, it's just like anything with football. Like we can't, you can't really assess it until the play shows up because these dudes could look great in college and then doesn't translate. So
Exactly.
I don't really like the idea of but like if I had to give it a grade as of today on what expectations I have going forward for these players, I think it's a solid B minus in my opinion. I think, like you said, after we got past day 2, I think there's maybe moves we could have made that maybe would have been a little more beneficial. But someone like we talk about Arian Smith, I think Malachi Moore might work out, and even if I think Tyler Barron can make an impact. So if one of those three ends up becoming an average player for us, that B minus quickly goes to a B plus A minus draft. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of just depends on how the players turn out for us. But like you said, we filled the hole at right tackle. We picked up a tight end one who I think is going to be productive day one. I think Thomas is going to play right away personally, and I think Smith and Moore are obviously going to get playing time. So if you look at it that way, you picked up 5 of your 7 that should play, and I think Barron can maybe. So in my opinion, looking at this list, there's maybe only one dude I don't see playing week 1, and that's Francisco Magu or Maga or whatever. So now obviously I could be wrong, and we don't really know. Like we obviously know our roster, but it's a whole new staff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know the way they're assessing everything. You know, Smith might come in and the receiver room might be set, or they might want to just stick with Stevens at DB, so Thomas might not play. So I don't know how they're going to look through that, but with a couple of these undrafted free agents too, an undrafted free agent signing, if one of them works out, you're considered that's a good thing, right? So I personally could see 2 or 3 of these dudes making our team and having an impact. So I think in terms of the current roster and the holes we had, I think they did a solid job. But like I said, it's kind of the whole narrative with the new staff is I won't be able to like assess this, or us as fans, we're gonna have to come back to week 1, 2, 3 once this play starts, and we're gonna have to look at it and be like, okay, you know what? If if one week we come out and we give up 200, 300 rush yards, it's like, well, maybe if we assess that in the free agency or draft. But until then, I'm not going to speak negatively. I'm going to trust the coaches. I'm going to trust who they have, and I'm going to trust the players the Jets have and hope for the best.
Yeah, it all comes down to like how they play next season. But as of right now, so I give it a B plus, B minus. I think like honestly, it depends. Like for Thomas, he's eventually gonna be a starter, and I think it all comes down to like if Brandon Steves might move to the safety, if if he plays well, if he doesn't play well.
I think it just comes down to whatever scheme Wilkes is trying to put together for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But we'll see when the season starts. But overall, as of right now, I like this draft, me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, besides from the 2022 draft, this is one of my favorite Jets drafts in a while, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, this is easily up there for me.
Yeah, it doesn't compare to 2022. We had 3 first-round picks, and hopefully we'll see if Sauce, Garrett, or get excited. I was gonna say Jermaine, but he's gonna play if he has a breakout season, he extended for sure to be a team captain.
Mm-hmm.
And just overall, I'm excited for the season actually. And like I said, I'm not gonna say be like we're making playoffs. Like I really want to see like Aaron Glenn, how like he helps these players, the new coaching staff, how they pan out. I want to see them play. Like I can't wait till preseason. Me personally.
Oh, I'm so
like
excited.
I might attend one if I'm being honest.
Just to wrap it up, like my last comment would be, obviously there's a lot of parts that need to go right, but my biggest hope for this upcoming season is with the new coaching staff we brought in. I want to see some of these like quiet name receivers and defensive linemen have great years. You know what I'm saying? Because a bunch of fans, me included, you see some of these names like Tyler Johnson at receiver, and you're like, is he going to do anything? You look at names like we just signed, like Rashad Beaver and the Chiefs defensive lineman. It's like they or I think it's Noddy or whatever. Like they've produced at the NFL level, but not highly. Like I'm really hoping. Like sometimes it just takes a new location and a new staff. So I'm hoping that the staff could bring the best out of those dudes, because then, right now, fans might be looking at our team like, oh, that's like, I keep saying people saying, it's a 6-7 win team. But if those dudes play above average, you might be looking at a wild card team.
Exactly.
So I'm just, I'm going to hope for the best, and I'm so excited for the preseason.
Like teams like Buffalo, they had nobody at wide receiver, and look how they turned out. They went to a championship game. So it all comes down to how they play.
Flow. That's all it is. The coaching staff has to buy in, the players have to buy in, and I hope the staff gets it under control, and best of luck to the Jets, because I'm excited.
I'm excited too. That's basically all I gotta say about for this podcast. Again, shout out to all the people who came up to me and said they were fans at the draft party. You know who you are. I hope to see you guys next year, and this new era Jets. Peace.